Hello, so let's get started with the next thing. As we continue this journey of getting your account fully set up on Likely AI's refresh engine, the next step is getting contacts into the system. And we have a couple of ways to do that. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to walk you through how you can manually upload contacts one off. So every time you see someone that you want to add or a property, you can do that. The second one is using a spreadsheet of some kind. So whether it's an Excel or CSV, you'll be able to upload that. So that's usually from your database or some other source that you have in a spreadsheet. And the third is through an integrated app. And in this video, I'm going to go through not connecting, but utilizing your Follow Up Boss account if you've connected it to the refresh engine. And then the final thing is understanding what value enhancements we have delivered to you by whatever file type you import. Not really as a one-off, but if you use a spreadsheet or if you use your connected app. Okay, so this will take a minute or two, and you'll be able to get a link to this clickable tour within the screen that you're on. So let's get started. As I said, we're going to go through those 4 different areas right now. So let's start by uploading a contact. If you haven't loaded any contacts in, this is what you're going to see. It's actually probably going to be a little different than this. By the time this video is in here, you're going to see the 3 quick start videos with an overall. But you need to start by going to your contacts tab, and you can see it over here. This is your import. It actually looks slightly different than that now too. We will continue to evolve the platform to make it easier to use. And so you can already kind of see some of those things happening. Let's get started by importing contacts. By either clicking here or here, you're going to go to the import contact screen. And the first one we're talking about is uploading a manual contact. So by clicking by add contact, you get the option to put in their first and last name, their address, the phone number, their email, and even add a tag to it. Maybe you saw them at an open house, or you were driving around a neighborhood you loved and thought, man, if that house ever is likely to sell, I want to be the agent that lists that, and on and on. So those kind of one-off use cases. We also have investors that do, the drive for dollars, where they're driving around looking for properties that maybe have some type of distressed element or that fit their buy box, and they go, man, I'd love to buy that property if they'd ever be willing to sell it. Another great use case for how to use the single contact, kind of the manual load. Once you hit save, it'll be added to your refresh engine, and we'll start to enrich the contact and then monitor for any changes. The next one is importing from a spreadsheet. So this is one of the most common use cases. You're exporting from your CRM, or you have your kid's sports list, or you have past clients, or you have exported your contacts from your iPhone or Android into a spreadsheet, which I will do another video on how to do that for free. It's really slick. Or maybe you export out your Gmail contacts. Again, another really simple, free way to grow your database. All you do is click browse to upload your file. Sorry, there we go. This is the clickable demo. And then once on this screen, you use the upload contacts option. Here, you can load whatever file, CSV or Excel, just drag and drop it, or click browse to upload. The fields that we need, really, it's name and email, name and phone number, name and address. Some combination in there, or just address. And then we'll do the rest. If it's a name and email, name and phone, that's like lead form data. If you have a set of addresses you care about, that's all we need, and we'll use the owner's name and stuff like that to pull back contact information for you. You want to map the fields, and there's more of a detailed explanation of what this is. You can kind of see over here as we move through this, but basically, map the fields here at the top are the ones that are in your spreadsheet, and then you want to map them to fields that what we have. So first name, last name. It's really simple. Right? Pick which phone number field you want. Maybe this is the wrong phone. Maybe this is the phone number field you want. You can simply click skip, and then find it in the drop down as there's phone number. And now that's the phone number field that's bringing it. It's that simple. Then come over and find your address fields if they're not already in here. I think this is a spreadsheet that doesn't have an address, so it's just phone numbers and emails, and thus we're going to be bringing back those for you. Once you're happy with the mapping, you can add in a tag. That tag will be applied to all of your contacts. So once the file is done processing, you can be able to know where that contact came from. And if you have it multiple times, there'll be multiple tags. So it's a great tool. It's kind of like list stacking if you're an investor. And then simply click save and continue, and that starts the processing. You'll see a screen like this where we have a little video that tells you kind of about what's going on while in the processing of that file. And the next piece is uploading through Follow Up Boss. So again, we try to reduce friction, make it simple for you. So this time you just click Get Data if you have your Follow Up Boss account connected, which is simply copying and pasting an API key out of your Follow Up Boss account and pasting it in. The video before this in this quick start sequence, I go over that briefly. It's very, very simple to do. You can't break anything. Highly recommend you do that, so that way you don't have to export and import. It just makes things a little simpler. So from here, you can either choose any smart list that you have in your Follow Up Boss account, or if you use tags, you can also use any tag that's in your Follow Up Boss account. So as long as you know what your tags are, having a tag, and then any contact associated with that tag, if you're using a tag or that smart list, if you select that, it'll start to bring the data in as if you uploaded a spreadsheet. It's that simple. There you go. Brings it all in. We start the enrichment process. And now, once you've brought the data in, what do you want to see now is, well, what improvement did our enrichment do for you? What value have we delivered? So the insights report, it's going to continue to evolve. So just know that as you're looking at it. At the top, it's basically a quick shot of the number of unique properties that we found that we were able to validate, the number of predictions we found and the potential value, and the number that have sold in the last 12 months and the value. Okay, so kind of overview of what's in this file, and then we get into specifics. So let's go through them, starting with the address. Starting with unique properties, and then the address. These are provided are the addresses that were included in the file you uploaded that we were able to validate that they were a valid address. There's a lot of partial and junk in people's databases we found. So those are the provided that are good addresses. And then we added, in this case, 1007 from all of the other contacts that were in this file. We were able to use the name and email, name and phone number to find addresses and then validate that those addresses are correct, that those are good addresses. And thus now you have a much better set of addresses for all of your contacts. Well, all the ones that have a valid address. Now, the reason why some of them won't have addresses is because maybe there's duplicate contacts in here. Maybe there's property contacts that we couldn't find an address for. And this example is using actually my iPhone contacts. And so I've got a lot of people from when I went to TCU and partials, and don't have really any contact information, get captured at some event sometime. And so it's pretty normal to have a high row count, which is 1 row per contact, and have that equal something that's less than that. I mean, all of our databases, even me, we don't keep up to date. And so that's what the reason why we built Refresh Engine is, to keep your database up to date. So get your iPhone contacts, get your emails from your Gmail, get your contacts from your CRM, get them updated, and then keep them updated. That's the premise. Now, how many emails did we improve or add? Well, in this case, it looked like most of the contacts already had emails, which is okay. That's out of a phone. That's pretty normal. It looks like I have more that have an email than I have a phone number, because we only improved about 4% or added 68 unique additional emails. So that's a contact that got an email that didn't have an email before. If you already had an email, we count that as provided. Now, contacts that didn't have a phone number, it looks like we added 956 new phone numbers to your existing contacts. You had 709, so 135% increase. It's pretty good. I mean, we find that it varies a lot by the source. both by how many addresses you have, and then is it heavy on phone numbers or emails or whatnot. So that's why we include these. And once we have communicated what type of information we've improved, now it's like, let's give a little bit of insight into who these people are. So it looks like the vast majority of the properties we were able to validate are owners. That makes sense, honestly, at the age that I am and kind of stage of life. Now, the unknowns, that a big portion of that are the not founds. Let's just be really clear there. Is that we're not able to find them, we just put them in as unknowns. And then even some of our data vendors, if it's not owner occupied, they put it as unknown. So those could just be non-owners. It is kind of all over the place. It is part of one of those messy areas of the industry that unless you're pulling some more heavily protected data sets, the quality of a non-owner versus owner flag varies drastically. It's one of those dirty little secrets. The final thing is property type. This we wanted to give a little insight into. Okay, now we know they're mostly owners. Do they live in condos or single families or something else? The unknowns are the ones we couldn't match. That's the not found. Then the single family, condo, and other. Other could be some mixed use type of property or like something that's not classified as a condo or single family, but still is a residence. It could also be a commercial property. So maybe you have contacts that have business emails and phone numbers, and it goes back to a real estate office, right? Or it goes back to wherever they do business. That is a common thing we've seen. If it's not single family or condo. Also, if it's like a single family, but it's classified as a historic property, we don't qualify historic as a single family because it's not going to sell. It's not going to transact like a single family. So we'd put that into the other bucket as well. There you go. Now you have better insight into how to upload contacts. You can do it either manually, one-off. So as you're driving around looking for investment properties, or you see homes that you would love to represent, if and when the owner wants to sell, how to upload a spreadsheet using Excel or CSV from your database or kids sports or whatever it would be where you get your database, your country club membership, whatever. 3 is using a connected app. So once you just copy and paste the API key, then you can grab any contact set from a smart list or a tag from Follow Up Boss in the example we went through. And the final thing is once you have imported those contacts, understanding the value that we've delivered to you through just the enrichment process. And now the fun starts where we start to monitor those contacts and allow you to do automations. The automations are what kind of tie the loop to loop. So watch the next video in Quick Start. That's where I'm going to go through setting up automations, because that is the third key thing. Connect the apps, import them, and then create those automations. So your marketing is now AI enabled and automated. Thank you for your time. And thank you for trying the database refresh.